The Idiot God by Nick Sayers. Read by Nick Sayers. I used to be the type of person who nonchalantly said, "The only time I feel lonely is when I'm with other people." I'd refuse any entreaty to dent my thick shell with curiosity, and I'd be on my way. I can't say that I'm the same after the colorless cloud Ryan and I found in the woods. Hometowns feel like a tomb to the college-bound, but I always regretted leaving. It was never a tomb to me. Not until it was. Back home, Ryan and I would spend evenings drinking cheap beer, talking about high school girls and the cosmic indifference of a post-religious world. Sometimes the best times were spent in shitty easy chairs, staring at the stars in complete silence. The infinite things we'd never say to each other passed between us with gentle repose. It was usually when one of us would grunt, say something stupid, or get up and take a leak, a balance of the sacred and the mundane in every moment. It was during one of these perfect, quiet evenings that the realization hit me. I'd have to go back to school in 3 days. The thought gave me a gnawing sense of nausea about my life and my little to no place in driving it. I tried looking at Ryan to distract myself, only to develop a feeling of a familiar mix of jealousy and pride over his simplicity. The feeling was quickly siphoned from consciousness as a sound vibrated from the dark woods beyond Ryan's house. "Did you see that?" Ryan asked. "No, but I heard it. What was it?" "The flash." I looked at Ryan and saw deep fear in his eyes, mingling with the reflection of his cheap LED porch light. I let my "what flash" become another one of those infinite unsaid things. My skin turned cold, and I could hear myself panting slightly. I tried to mask it with deep, quiet breaths, but it only made my hunger for oxygen more dire. It meant nothing because Ryan's eyes were streaming with tears. "Ryan, what's going on, man?" He looked at me as if I had walked into the trailer after being away for a semester, a hanging, "What the fuck are you doing here?" in his gaze. "Ryan, what?" I stared at him, then looked toward the tree line. He stood up and started to walk into the darkness. "Dude, no!" He ignored me. It was like those situations where someone stands in an elevator normally, and everyone else enters and faces the other way, until the one person not in on the joke turns around. Here was my dipshit self, standing up off my chair and following him. "Where are we going?" "Did you see it?" "No, dude. What? I heard a weird sound." "You didn't see the flash? The air? The colors?" "No," was all I could get out as we started to jog into the darkness. Hindsight screams, "Don't fucking go into the forest after the non-Euclidean flashy cloud your drunk friend just saw." But that's not how things work, not with Ryan and me. From poking a dead raccoon for hours, to playing chicken with an Amtrak train, to discussing the complete isolation of being an individual in a connected universe, we always chased the bunny deeper. We never asked why or by what means. We'd exhaust our curiosity, a boyish hubris about knowledge that was always present. I would have scratched my scalp if I had remembered how to work my hand as I saw what was in the clearing under the weight of the starlight. A cloud, a portal, a simple trick of light. Ryan looked at me like it was the first time he met me and simply stated, "Now you see." A simplistic understatement that shook my grip on, well, everything. Then Ryan touched the damn thing. If touch were a sufficient sensory experience to describe it, his fingers elongated through the cloud like they were in a fishbowl reaching for heaven. When he finally collapsed on the ground and woke up 3 hours later, I had him back at his place, one shoe lost. After giving him a minute to wake up, I wanted to ask, what was it like? His vacant stare met mine, looking through my skull and the walls into the deep vastness of space beyond us. My question became another one of those unsaid things between us, not one of the infinite things, but one that contained an infinity itself. What can two great ape morons do with a mystical cloud in the backwoods of Toledo, Washington? A lot. Throwing shit into it, touching it, farting on it, you name it. It took everything we offered and treated it like a gift to some idiot god with no mind to rationally communicate back. Dumb, idiot, brain-dead, but a god nonetheless. This textual medium cannot begin to communicate the sensory experience of engaging with the cloud. We were like moronic penitents who worshipped an even stupider god, like a dog trying to hump a dead beached whale. It was exhilarating beyond compare. And this is when the schism happened. Ryan, a proselytizer, started to strategize on who we should bring and show the cloud. My insides revolted at the mention. I had only ever been chosen by Ryan. I used diversion and fear to dissuade him, which worked for a time. Weeks passed, and I had over 50 missed calls from school friends, all but reporting me missing. Ignore, dismiss, phone off. Ryan started to remind me to eat. I didn't feel hungry, so I stopped. He was always better at caring for himself in that way, another thing I started to hate about him. Ryan wanted to preach the gospel of the cloud, while I became its monastic adherent, jealously guarding its secrecy. Ryan and I never fought. Well, I wish we had. Days, or weeks, maybe months, I don't know. But Ryan brought his father out without telling me. I was lying nude under the cloud in the leaves when I heard their voices. Ryan's father was a father figure to me. My dad had Parkinson's disease and wasn't around much. My mother, well, fuck her. She wasn't around at all. Still isn't. Ryan's dad, much like him, was the type to remind you to eat and look you in the eye and actually care about what he saw reflected back. He became my dad in ways. Even so, I still felt this was an affront to our pact, my pact of secrecy. I looked down at my nude body, down 20 pounds, maybe. Who knows? Who cares? I sat up and watched Ryan's dad fall to his knees in his presence. He closed his eyes and started to smell and pant through his nose, if one could do such a thing. The cloud seemed to flex toward him, but it was always moving. They didn't even see me under the thing. I could tell the cloud was manifesting through smell for Ryan's dad. Ryan was shielding his eyes. The visual component was always way too much for him. I could feel the cloud touch them. I could feel my jealousy. It was in the cloud. Or was it the cloud's jealousy? It would be easy to blame the cloud for what happened next. I rushed from under the thing, tackled Ryan's father. The man was anything but frail. He gasped my name, a short-lived smile crossing his face, soon turning into a gasp as my teeth sank deep into his throat. I tore outward like a feral wolf. It was an explosion of flavor, overwhelming my senses as the warm blood mixed with my taste buds. The cloud made every taste bud explode with a different color, flavor, sound. Again, no words for it. I don't understand. It was like time stopped, yet was still moving lightning fast, my fingers quickly finding a trachea under some muscle and flesh. It came out with a pop. Ryan dove on me and knocked me over. He was screaming something I couldn't hear, I couldn't see. I'm not even sure I was breathing. I walked away from their bodies, my nude form bathed in the cloud's light, and it roiled in the air. I bent over, prostrate, baptized in blood, its moronic pulsing suggesting nothing. I felt it. It wasn't confused. It had no logical structure to its suggestions. It was like a toddler putting something in its mouth, and it found poison then swallowed it. I was that poison. It wasn't even disgusted in me. It just dumbly started to whirl fast and flash colors without names until it was gone, and I was on the ground asking for it to hold me again. It's been weeks in some alien perception of time that is completely meaningless to anyone but me. I'm a different person. My skin, well, I don't know. The food Ryan used to remind me to eat tastes like ash. My limbs feel lighter and stronger, and I've been practicing running through the woods at night. I never get lost, and I always know where I am. I carry Ryan's skull with me. In the quiet hours, under the sun, among the spruce trees, I work toward expressing the infinite things I regret not saying. Anyway, the only time I feel lonely is when I'm with other people. I used to say that nonchalantly, but now I can't be with them. Not anymore.